Hello, BookTube. This is Weekly Reads. Before I talk about what I read this past reading week, I do want to address the lighting situation. So here in my little book room, there are 4 lights. For several months, if not probably for more than a year, 2 of those lights have been out. Yesterday, a third light went out, leaving just 1 light. And I was thinking about making videos with just that 1 light until it went out, and then I would order new lights. However, I was talking to my mom, and she mentioned that I had some light bulbs, and I had thought those light bulbs had already been used. However, earlier this morning, I went and switched out the 3 dead light bulbs with these new ones, or the ones that I thought had been dead, but they were actually good. So I have 4 functioning lights now, even though one of them is a bit yellow compared to the other 2 or other 3. So yeah, that's basically why this part of my face is illuminated, and this part is very much in shadow. I don't quite know how to fix it. I'll try some alternative filming spots and see if that kind of clears things up or doesn't heavily shadow things. So sorry for the lighting situation. Anyway, on to what I read this past reading week. So over the weekend, I read 12 volumes of manga, 3 new releases, and 9 volumes of Naruto by Masashi Kishimoto, and I loved every moment of it. I had a blast with those 12 volumes of manga. The work week, Monday through Friday, was a bit disappointing. Now, part of it was that my reading work week was doomed from the start. So on Tuesday, me and my mom were supposed to go watch her grandkids, my nieces and nephews, while my brother and sister-in-law ran an errand. That fell through, but it was a bit of a disruption. And yesterday, my mom had several doctor's appointments, which caused further disruptions. And of course, there's also been significant stormy weather the last few weeks that's put a damper on things. Although we really haven't been all that effective except for copious amounts of rain. Although there is a chance that we could get some serious storms again tonight, and if there are power outages, then the video I plan to make tonight I might not be able to make until either this weekend or sometime next week, and I'll talk about that once I wrap everything up. So let's talk about the manga. So the 3 new releases I read were Dandadan Volume 7 by Yukinobu Tatsu, Eden 028 by Hiro Mashima, and Four Nights of the Apocalypse Volume 12 by Nakaba Suzuki. So Dandadan by Yukinobu Tatsu is a series set in contemporary Japan. It's about 2 young people, Momo and Ken, who goes by the nickname Okurun. So Okurun believes in aliens. He believes that aliens exist. Momo, on the other hand, believes that spirits exist. Neither believes that the other exists. So Okurun does not believe in spirits. Momo does not believe in aliens. They make a bet. And so each goes to a location reputedly haunted or visited by aliens or spirits, and both discover that In fact, both aliens and spirits exist. This event results in Momo gaining access to latent psychic abilities, and Okarun being possessed by a spirit known as Turbo Granny. And eventually he ends up gaining her powers without her possession, although at the cost of his genitals. And so one of the main plot points of the series is the search for Okarun's missing testicles. So this volume largely focuses on sort of recovering from the previous arc, in which a childhood friend of Momo's named Gigi comes seeking the help of Momo's grandmother, Saiko, who is herself a quite powerful spirit medium. Gigi's parents have been institutionalized, and Gigi believes that there's a malignant spiritual force haunting the house. He's right about that. The house is located at a site of sacrifice. A family local to the area in which Gigi lives, the Quito family, routinely sacrifices the people who rent that location to a gigantic, monstrous worm, basically a Mongolian death worm. And the ghost of one of the early victims of the death worm has become a yokai, an evil spirit known as the Evil Eye, which has possessed Gigi. So this this volume largely focuses on Momo and Okarun and their friends and family trying to figure out how to contain the Evil Eye. They figure out that hot water brings out the Gigi personality, whereas cold water hastens the Evil Eye's possession. And there are a lot of hilarious sort of fight scenes as they try to suppress the Evil Eye. Saiko attempts to exorcise the Evil Eye, and Gigi decides against it ultimately because he recognizes that even though the child who forms the basis of the Evil Eye, he's a lonely child. He was brutalized. He was sacrificed. He just really wants friends. The only problem is that he goes about it in a very, very bad way. And Gigi is trying to work through that. And so the rest of the cast is sort of more determined than ever to sort of make sure that the Evil Eye is contained until Gigi has the spiritual abilities to suppress the Evil Eye on his own. This causes Okarun to want to get stronger. So he initially goes to an alien friend of his to try to train to be able to be stronger. And then he goes to seek the aid, or Turbo Granny then sort of intercedes and decides to train Okarun on her own. The Turbo Granny has been basically separated. Okurin has her powers, and the spiritual entity that is Turbo Granny is possessing a fortune cat. So, and Turbo Granny is hilarious. So Turbo Granny takes Okurin to an abandoned school to train, and they are followed by Ira, who has a similar sort of relationship that Okurin has to a ghost called Acrobatic Silky. And so the last part of this volume sees Okurin and Ira training against yokai who take the form of caricatures of classical composers, and it is hilarious. I love this series so much. So let's look at some pictures real quick. So I love Yukinobu Tatsu's artwork. It is just so well detailed. And I also love the little interactions between Momo and Okurin, who have feelings for each other, even though they're both uncertain how to express it. And that's... Oh yeah, I have got to work on the lighting. Has done it there. Paint spread. I want to... oh yeah. It was so much fun to watch this, or read this. Oh yeah, and the priests who come in to perform the exorcism are made up as a rock band, and it is hilarious. Let me see here. And then, and I really love the characters starting to rock out. It is so amazing. I love this series so much. I cannot wait for volume 8. Huh. I think one of the lights just went out. It's rather annoying. Anyway, so sorry about that. So, volume 28 of Eden Zero. So, Eden Zero is one of Hiro Mashima's latest series. It's not his newest series. That would be Dead Rock, which I'm hoping gets an English language release. But anyway, so I'll hopefully have some to report on that later. So Eden Zero is about a young man named Shiki who was raised on a planet of androids. One day, a young woman named Rebecca comes to the planet with her Exceed companion Happy to film some videos for her BCube channel. The androids seem to malfunction and try to kill Rebecca and Happy. Shiki saves them and flees the planet with them, and together they become adventurers with the goal to find Mother, the great cosmic goddess figure. Gradually, Shiki and Rebecca and Happy form a crew that double as a family and go in search of Mother while having numerous adventures. Eventually, they come into conflict with Ziggy, Shiki's adoptive android grandfather, who has been resurrected with an anti-human agenda. It's eventually revealed that Ziggy is a future version of an alternate future version of Shiki, and that he has been sort of taken over by the artificial intelligence of the Eden's One, sister ship to the Eden Zero, which was a starship that Ziggy piloted that was eventually inherited by Shiki. So after the Lindard arc, Shiki and the crew of the Eden Zero travel to Universe Zero, which is the only universe in which Mother can be saved. In the future, Mother dies, and gradually all organic life in the cosmos dies with her. And some millennia later, the androids begin to die as well. So in Universe Zero, things are fairly different. Many of the characters who had been antagonistic to Shiki and the crew are now, if they're still antagonistic, they're friendlier than they were in the previous universes. And many are actually downright heroic. In this volume, Shiki and Shura, who was a rather despicable young man in the previous universe, joined forces to take on Mueller, a still rather repugnant servant of the Eden's One in every universe. He has taken an android named Xenolith's gravity powers and is using it to cause chaos and destruction throughout the AOE cosmos. Shiki and Shura team up alongside their respective crews and Empire and the Interstellar Union Army to take down Mueller. And the crew of the Eden Zero then go to the planet Miltz to consult with Rebecca's mother, St. Fire Knox, in order to find how to find Mother. This volume was really good. I especially liked the interaction between Shura and Shiki, and just the Universe Zero version of Shiki. I mean, not Shiki, as Shura is really amazing. Let's see about some good pictures. Oh, yeah. And then and I really enjoyed this entrance of Shiki and Shura coming in to beat up Mueller. It's just. And I really like how, even though Mueller has stolen a reputedly stronger form of gravity powers, which both Shiki and Shura have themselves, that the problem is that he might have had the powers, but he didn't actually know how to use them. Oh yeah, that's. And that. There. So yeah, so this was really fun. And Volume 12 of Four Nights of the Apocalypse. So this is the sequel series to The Seven Deadly Sins. This is about four young knights who are foretold to bring about the downfall of a corrupted King Arthur and his false Camelot. This volume sees the united Four Knights of the Apocalypse, Percival, Lancelot, Tristan, and Gawain, alongside their respective platoons, sort of fighting off two Chaos Knights, knights serving King Arthur. This volume is heartbreaking because in the middle of it, one of our heroes dies. And the emotional toll it takes is quite well done. I especially like the character focus on, but particularly on Jade, who is the knight who dies, but also on his comrades, particularly Chion. The extras at the end of the volume really do a lot to sort of kind of enrich his character. Let's see here. Let's see if there's. Really. So there are two Knights of the Chaos, one of whom controls animals, and the other one has super strength. And they both put the heroes in a ringer. And then Tristan is attacked by a demon. Although Tristan manages to work things out, defeat her and work things out, and gain the demon's alliance. Oh yeah. Let's see here. I don't want to. Well, I already spoiled it, but yeah, I really enjoyed this volume as well. And yeah. Okay. So on to Naruto. So I read volumes 37 through 45 of Naruto, which largely wraps up the Hidan Kakuzu arc. So Naruto is about a young man named Naruto, who, on the day of his birth, a nine-tailed demon fox attacked his home village of Konoha. The Hokage at the time, who is revealed to be Naruto's father, sealed the demon fox into newborn Naruto at the cost of his own life. Naruto then becomes the town pariah, and he compensates by becoming a troublemaker and class clown. However, he does graduate the Ninja Academy and become an apprentice ninja under the steward leader, kind of the guidance of Kakashi. He's joined by his fellow students Sasuke and Sakura. Sasuke has a lot of issues, and he eventually defects from Konoha to Orochimaru, a former Konoha ninja who seeks to destroy Konoha for his own ends. There's a terrorist organization called the Akatsuki, which seeks to capture people like Naruto for nefarious purposes. One of the Akatsuki's members is Itachi, Sasuke's older brother, whom Sasuke has sworn to kill. So two of the Akatsuki are Hidan and Kakuzu, who have entered the Land of Fire to pick up bounties. During a confrontation with Konoha Ninja, a major Konoha ninja named Asuma is killed. And this leads his team, who are friends of Naruto's, who they're in the same age group as Naruto, to seek justice, to capture them, or at least to eliminate them. And so the team, Shikamaru, Choji, and Ino, are joined by Kakashi to track down Hidan and Kakuzu and to defeat them. Naruto and his team, which with Sasuke's defection and Kakashi having to take on other roles, the team supplemented by Yamato, who is a senior ninja, and Sai, who is a ninja from the Foundation, a sort of semi-official Black Ops outfit. And so they're sent out later. Naruto is, during this arc, trying to develop a new jutsu. So the key of this arc is Shikamaru's intelligence. How Shikamaru basically plans the attack on Hidan and Kakuzu, and how to basically defeat them both, even as he does not have the same amount of sort of intelligence on Kakuzu. And it is brilliant. I really love the sort of characterization that Shikamaru goes through in this arc. And I also love Naruto's sort of his new jutsu. And how he basically sort of grows as a ninja. The next arc that kind of follows on to this is Sasuke defeating Orochimaru, basically leaving Orochimaru's side because Sasuke's learned all he can from Orochimaru and has no further use for Orochimaru. Also, given the fact that Orochimaru is planning to steal Sasuke's body. Anyway, so with Orochimaru disposed of, Sasuke forms a team of Orochimaru's subordinates and test subjects to join him in his hunt of Itachi. Before Sasuke can face Itachi, Sasuke fights another member of the Akatsuki, Deidara, who himself has a grudge against Itachi. And then Sasuke and Itachi fight, and it is a brilliant fight. And that whole Uchiha storyline is, I think, very well done. Very, very brilliantly done. At the same time, Naruto's mentor, Jiraiya, is infiltrating the village of Ame, the village hidden in the rain, because one of the leaders of the village is believed to be the leader of the Akatsuki. And so there's an extended storyline of Jiraiya's fight with Pain, the leader of the Hidden Rain and the Akatsuki. And then the volumes that I read for this batch of Naruto end with Naruto going to train with the Toads to become a Toad Sage, while Pain invades Konoha. And Sasuke declares war on Konoha because of what happened with Itachi. And basically, this leads up to, in a few volumes, the Fourth Great Shinobi World War. So yeah, it was fun. So let's look at some pictures. So here's Shikamaru, Choji, and Ino. And I also, one thing I love about Kishimoto's artwork is he will sometimes do some really innovative or interesting things with the sort of panel layout. Let's see if I can find an example of that. So I'm not finding it in here. Oh yeah, I do love this double page spread where Team Yamato kind of comes into support Kakashi, and well, I guess in this instance they would be Team Kakashi. But yeah, I guess this here would be one example, even though my hands are kind of covering it up. And then one thing about volume 1338 is oh yeah, here's an example. Like this there. And then the one thing I really like about this volume is oh yeah, there's Sasuke. And I like that cover, chapter cover. Oh yeah. So yeah, this was really fun. Let me show you some from the fight with Itachi. Oh yeah, another example. So I'm going on, and I need to hurry up with what I read or failed to read over the course of the work week. Okay, so my primary goal for the work week was to read The Last Days of the Ottoman Empire by Ryan Gingeras. So this book looks at sort of the final years of the Ottoman Empire and the birth of the Turkish Republic. Primarily in the early 1920s when the Ottoman Empire had been defeated in World War I, and a sort of nationalist force was beginning to sort of fight back against the various occupations that were enacted as sort of in the aftermath of World War I that eventually led to the Republic of Turkey. I really did not get on with this book. The introduction was not, I didn't really enjoy it. I mean, it could possibly be the subject is one of those that I need to be in the mood for it for me to be able to read it. If I weren't so, well, I know there are certain subjects that I have a hard time reading because I guess the best way I could describe it is they violate the way things should be, or I don't quite know how to explain it, but there are certain historical moments that bug me. I guess because I wish things had gone a different way. Also, in that certain historical entities, sort of like the Ottoman Empire, that I've become interested in, the periods that I'm interested in don't really get the historical coverage that other parts do. I'm explaining this really, really poorly. I know it's probably a video I need to make, and I don't quite know how to do it. So hopefully one of these days I will be able to talk about this in a way that makes sense. I also ended up bailing on Chinatown by Charles Yu. So this was a bail redemption rejection. So this is a book that takes as its gimmick a conflation of life as performance. So Willis Wu is an actor who at the moment is effectively an extra in a long-running procedural crop drama called Black and White. Willis aspires to become Kung Fu Guy, which is sort of the highest role that an Asian American can aspire to have, or Asian American actor can aspire to have. At the same time, this sort of conflation of performance as both sort of professional acting, it's also real life, that life as a performance. So the book also sort of seems to imply that the Black and White is also real life or something. It's a bit confusing maybe, and I think it's so stylistic that I don't know, there's just something of what I read, it's just something off, and I don't quite know. Yeah, I don't know. It's how to explain it. I guess maybe it's so the gimmick of that conflation of life as an act and professional acting that it comes off as sort of there's no real personality to it, I guess is the best way I can describe it. Next is Final Matters by Szilard Borbely, translated by Ottilie Mulzet. This is a collection of poetry. It was okay. So for this coming reading week, I will be reading hopefully 2 works of history. House of Lilies by Justine Firnhaber-Baker, which is about the Capetian dynasty, and the Cleopatras by Lloyd Llewellyn-Jones, which is about the 7 Cleopatras. Now, today I am planning on doing a try a chapter tag. And I'll explain a lot more about that later this evening, assuming we still have power. But I will be looking at reading the first chapters of The War of the Flowers by Tad Williams, The Black Prism by Brent Weeks, 12 Kings in Sharakhai by Bradley P. Beaulieu, and The Kingdom of Liars by Nick Martell. So, anyway, BookTube, I am going on a bit long with this weekly read, so I'm going to go ahead and sign off for now. So, I will see you later this evening, hopefully with the try chapter tag. And if not, I will kind of figure out how to do that sometime next week, as well as a number of other videos. So until then, thank you, have a great weekend, and stay safe.